you change a slight diameter angle on something, and suddenly it's a completely new animal that you can market with this sexy new name and pass off however you want. That's the way that this works. And if you break it down as to what are the actual pioneering developments over the past 30 years, you've got microscopes.
Right.
You've got the use of coronal angle incisions with flat blades. That was a pretty
huge.
big deal.
Yeah.
You have FUE.
Right.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Everything else is just some sort of variation that's been improved, modified, changed, mocked up somehow differently.
Yeah, but there are guys, you just said something that, will claim that what they're doing is improving what's, commonly being done in the industry. And that's not necessarily the case. A lot of these guys, in my view, are just kind of making these tweaks, these changes, saying they're inventing some tool or another just so they could claim that they have a leg up on the competition.
And even then, you don't know if they're actually doing something different, because so many times a lot of these, what I like to call fringe clinics, they won't even tell you, they won't even show you exactly what's going on. They just make up a name and they kind of have a pretty shallow explanation of how it's different. But then if you actually ask a real question like, well, how is it actually different? Let me see the differences. They'll come up empty. And then you're looked at as being an antagonist.
No.
So,
well, I got to tell you that, I'm all for trademarking, trademarkable, things that need to be protected,
yeah.
Service marks, trademarks for, intellectual property, obviously certain devices, which frankly, I think that, devices are going to be patented. But, a lot of these guys in the industry just trademark names for whatever.
Yeah.
They can just kind of make up whatever they want, trademark it. And for some reason, the consumer thinks because it has that TM that it is somehow a superior, they're offering a superior service or some sort of superior device.
Right.
The one thing that's really, I think, will potentially be a game changer, and we're still not sure, is piloscopy, what Dr.
Piloscopy?
Yeah, what Dr. Wesley is doing. That's a big change.
It is.
So yeah, he's trademarking that. He's patenting the device. Obviously, that's a big one.
That is a big one.
That makes sense.
It's like, who does this? Who goes underneath the scalp to pull the hair out?
Right.
No one. No one has. It's like, now there have been experiments. I believe when this first came out, I thought I heard rumblings about some other doctors had tried it or thought of it, and I don't know the truth behind that.
Well,
but
every doctor I know has tried it before. Same with FU. They all told me that they tried it. And
I tried it in 1992, and it was anyway.
It's never going to work.
Yeah. So, but piloscopic removal of follicular units, the way Dr. Wesley is putting this together, is absolutely unique in every sense of the word.
And it is patentable, and it is something I would say that the service mark and the name of the device, it should be trademarked, and that makes sense. But the trademark, I think when it comes to medicine, like something that is equivalent to like the home of the Whopper, for instance. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, this is medicine.
Jesus, I'm hungry now. Yeah, but no, you're right, and it gets down to the to the nuts and bolts of what this industry is about. It's all about trying to get a leg up on the next guy and trying to fight for the chicken feed that's being spread on the ground and make the buck. And
but I don't think there needs to be that fight, though. That's the thing. There's so many patients to go around. If physicians really understood where to focus on, as far as especially the good ones who are allowed to market on certain resources, like ours, for instance, like the Ball Truth, like the IHRS, and they're accepted as part of this group, as part of what we do, part of what I do, because they're doing something right. Because
of course
they're doing consistently great work. There are a lot of guys on the fringe who either are part of other resources or just kind of can't get their way in, and they will do whatever it takes to appear to be better than the rest.
Yeah,
and it's unfortunate.
They seem to try more than those that aren't considered to be fringe clinics. I don't know why.
I think YouTube is a great example, man. And I know there are some great doctors, and everyone has the need to put. I mean, everyone should have some YouTube videos out there,
of course.
But the guys that are really hammering YouTube, that don't have, in my view, third-party credentials, third-party recognition, and are making bold claims, those are the guys to watch out for.
Well, it comes down to proving the claims, and look, if you have a claim of superior naturalness, or angles and directions are spot on every time, you got to be able to show it, and that's all it comes down to. I mean, it's not rocket science. If you have a product that is superior, then the product superiority should be able to come through on its own without a bunch of pomp and circumstance, I won't get too specific, but without special music on the videos.
Oh, first of all, I think music should be eliminated for the most part from any of these videos. This is medicine, for crying out loud. There are some good doctors who have their people put the craziest music on their videos, and I don't even understand it. I'm like, how can you look at this and think that this is reasonable?
But some people, and this goes back to the marketing, there is a lifestyle element that they're trying to inflect with the music. Not just the music, but like flashy, logos and lights and special, Final Cut Pro type of editing. And it's not necessary. Maybe, I'm not completely against music, but I think it should be something that is not intrusive, that is not taking center stage as opposed to the result.
Exactly. It has to be
it should be something subtle and some sort of background music, like elevator music.
Exactly.
If your result can look good while there's elevator music playing,
yeah,
I'm sold.